Hello and welcome to Customer Concepts TV, in what is the first of 3 discussions about social customer service that will cover everything from why social customer service through to practical recommendations on developing and implementing strategies and what a mature, fully integrated social customer service operation looks like. Before we delve into all that good stuff, let me first introduce our panel. Our guest speaker today is Ovum analyst Aphrodite Brinsmead. Aphrodite is a senior analyst in the customer interaction team at Ovum and is also the author of Social Media as a Customer Support Channel Best Practices, a paper that examines many of the areas we'll be talking about over the course of these TV shows. Next to Aphrodite, we are joined by Richard Beattie. Richard is an expert in social media and was a EMEA VP and General Manager at social media publishing software company Vitru prior to the company's acquisition by Oracle last year. Last, but by no means least, we have Paolo Marazitti. Paolo is Oracle's resident expert on customer experience with a particular interest in the customer service aspect of CX. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
So let me start the conversation, Aphrodite, with you. And can you talk us through the landscape of social customer service and what's really driving the need for that?
I think it's really coming from the consumer aspect in that we've reached a point where customers are using social media to communicate with their friends. We've reached a critical mass of customers that have Facebook accounts, that have Twitter accounts, and they're realizing that it's a great channel to also connect with businesses. And from the business perspective, it's a common communication channel for all of the consumers and for them to reach out to customers. Customers don't need to find a phone number, they don't need to find an email address, and they can easily send a message to anyone, anywhere in the world, at any time of the day, on their smartphone or on the internet. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that it's kind of such a convenient, easy channel is what's driving the need for businesses to really kind of respond and look at the way consumers are using the channel.
And what about customer expectations? What are we seeing there as they become more social?
Well, I think that, to Aphrodite's point, I think that we've seen such an enormous adoption and shift in how people use social I've seen data to suggest in the last 5 years alone, we've gone from sort of 1 in every 20 minutes that's spent online being in some form of social activity to now being 1 in 5 minutes. So that's like a 4-fold increase in perhaps 5 years. So it's a massive shift, massive tipping point. And I think what comes with that, to your point, is with these devices that we all hold in our pockets now, comes a much higher level of expectation about the immediacy of our ability to engage with the brands. It's not about how it used to be. Do you remember it? It used to be this sort of like when we were online or offline. Now, when are we ever offline? I think it's a tremendous change in our expectation as a consumer. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also that social is a bidirectional media, right? So we speak about social media, which kind of initially makes you think that it's unidirectional, but it's actually a conversation that you have with your consumer once you are as a brand in the market, right? So you cannot just post pictures of beautiful sunset and asking you if you want to be there, right? But it's all about the consumer. It's all about me here now, right? So the immediacy of the relationship with the brand, and today might be a marketing occasion, tomorrow might be a customer service occasion. So it's just me as a consumer see these as a continuum and don't understand the silos that, as a brand you might have in social.
Mm-hmm. There seems to be in certain quarters reticence still from businesses, and I'm sure you've all seen that as you've spoken to customers and sort of been out there talking to businesses. Are we at the point now where social is just another service channel?
I was going to say, I think, social, it is another service channel, but it's also very different because information's public. And I think that's also one of the reasons why businesses are kind of a little bit hesitant, because firstly, they don't really know how to handle these things, what are the right kind of types of technology to use, but also, customers, there's the potential for, kind of customers putting negative information, complaining, spreading, issues going viral, people promoting tweets that are kind of saying bad things about your company. And I think from the business perspective, there's kind of there's a number of different challenges, but 2 kind of main things that are making them hesitant. One is the the fact that they don't know how to kind of handle these things, and they don't know how to kind of prevent the spread of negative information. But the other part is a little bit of skepticism really around, can you actually resolve issues within social media? And of course, there's investment in technology and people that's needed to try and get kind of positive and customer service in social channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what we see is also it's not the right channel for everything, right? So we one of our customers, Match.com, for instance, find that it's a dating service, right? So find that the customers are actually not willing to share some information about how a certain date went last night, right, online. Or for instance, we see it in financial services where there is a level of privacy that sometimes shies people away, and there is a cultural thing. So I've seen it, I cover EMEA, Middle East and Africa, and of course it's not the same level of material across geography. So I think there is a component of industry and a component of culture/geography that needs to be taken into account. But when it's done right, I see that this is a great occasion actually to even promote your brand, right? So change customer service occasions into a marketing occasion. Mm-hmm. So I think this is going to also be very powerful for that.
I think the key point about what we're saying here is that there's been with the advent of a social world, there is a shift in control from the brand to the consumer. And to be able to operate social as a service channel or as any channel, it requires not just treating it as another broadcast medium, to Paolo's point. It needs a cultural ability to be able to handle a two-way conversation, as well as new systems, as well as new processes.
Mm-hmm. So if there isn't an option to do nothing, where's the practical place to start? Is there anything that businesses should be looking at specifically? I
think the first place to start is really kind of looking at existing customers and how they're using social media. So something like social media monitoring, which is, in many instances it's already used by kind of the marketing team within an organization, but really kind of understanding how customers are using social media, what are their kind of preferences for using Facebook versus Twitter, are they just using it to complain, and then really thinking about how that customer base can be kind of served better. Whether it's kind of, creating a separate team within your customer service organization, or making response times faster, or kind of managing the interactions by categorizing them and sending them to the right staff that can handle each question and query. Mm-hmm. So starting with the customers.
So there we have it. Social customer service offers a great opportunity, provided you put yourself in your customer's shoes. We're just about at the end of our time here. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our panel, Aphrodite, Paolo and Richard, for a really thought-provoking discussion. Please join us for our next programme, when we'll be digging into what is really needed to successfully deliver social customer service. You may also find a visit to oracle.com/getsocial worthwhile, as there's lots of useful social customer service info there. I'm Jo Brearley, and I'll see you next time.